Bagamat nakakulong na nga si Delima ay patuloy pa din ang pagtanggap nito ng pasahod at mga benepisyo mula sa gobyerno sa kabila ng patuloy na pagbabato nito ng pambabatiko sa administrasyon ng Pangulong Duterte. At ayon kasi sa report na inilabas ng Senado ay umabot na sa 107 million pesos ang natatanggap na pasahod at benepisyo ng senadora taong 2019 lang. Mas malaki pa nga umano ang nagagastos ng taong bayan sa senadora na nasa selda kaysa kina Senator Lacson at Senator Soto na pasipag na nagtatrabaho sa Senado. Dating hinamon ng senadora ang Pangulong Duterte na ikulong na umano ito dahil sa issue na nagkaroon ng pagrarayot sa loob mismo ng Bilibid na kung saan dapat ito ang pinaka-guarded na lugar umano ayon sa senadora.
Sobra naman ang pagtingin nila sa atin. Tanga naman natin na maniniwala tayo sa mga ganyang istorya. Bilibid 14 is supposed to be the most guarded facility now. Nandyan yung mga staff. Tapos gagawa ng istoryang ganyan na nagsasyabu kaya nagkarayot. Tama na po. In your desperation, Pangulo, para siraan niyo ako. Hindi niyo na iniisip kung ano na yung nagiging itsura niyo sa mata ng bayan at saka sa mundo. Kayo na po ang pinagtatawanan. Hindi po ako. Inosente po ako. Tama na, nagkakamali na kayo. Iba-iba na yung mga version nyo, iba-iba na yung mga istorya nyo. Kung ano-anong mga iniimbento nyo, katulad nung kahapon na naman, ano na mag 300 million na yan. Tama na po. Sino mga susunod nilang gigipitin? Sino mga susunod nilang gagawa ng kwento? Sino mga buhay ang sisirain nila? Sino yung mga privacy na mga sisiraan? Mga former staff ko, mga former officials ko. Nilalapitan nyo na po lahat. Alam ko po yan, nakakarating po sa kanila mga sumbong nila sa akin. And I feel so helpless. I cannot even help them with lawyers. Dahil kung papadalhan ko sila ng lawyers, sasabihin nila, ayan, kasi proprotektahan para hindi siya i-ano. So what am I supposed to do now? Tell me. I'm not going to leave this country and escape anything because there is nothing to escape from. May mga nag-a-advise na sa akin, ng mga well-meaning friends. Mag-isip-isip ka na, Laila, kasi kaka-announce din nga ng Pangulo na ikukulong ka na daw talaga. Maghanap ka na ng asylum. Why should I do that? I want to fight here in my country. Di ba ako duwag? Dahil wala pa akong kasalanan. Yung mga nagtatago lamang. At saka yung mga walang mga mga duwag ang umaatras. Hindi po si Delima. Hindi po ako pinalaki ng tatay ko na maging duwag. Tama na. Hulihin niyo na ako ngayon. Kung yan naman talaga gusto nyo, ikulong nyo na ako ngayon. I'm here. Do what you want to me, Mr. President. I'll wait for you.
At ayon pa nga sa mga report na kumakalat ngayon sa mundo ng social media patungkol sa mga benepisyo at pasahod ng senadora na umabot na umano sa 400 million pesos ang natatanggap nito mula sa mga taxpayers. Delima in prison has spent 400 million pesos of taxpayers' money. This is really quite amazing. The Muntinlupa Regional Trial Court in February 2017 ordered Senator Delima arrested and detained on drug trafficking charges, with several witnesses fingering her. Yet as a senator, Delima has received her full salary and benefits and spent everything allowed a fully functioning senator since 2017. But other than incessantly ranting against President Rodrigo Duterte and other government agencies on her Facebook account, have you heard any real output from her? A great research study, or a bill that became law, even if this were done by her staff and simply attributed to her. The 400 million pesos is based on the Senate's recent report of amounts paid to and expenses for each senator from January to December 2019. For that year, Delima's salaries and benefits, as well as those of her staff and other expenses for her office, totaled 107 million pesos. In fact, the detained Delima is the fourth biggest spender in the Senate, after Senators Mary Grace Poe, 107 million pesos, Ralph Recto, 113 million pesos, and Juan Miguel Zubiri, 110 million pesos. The Republic has spent more for her than Senate President Vicente Soto III, 102 million pesos, and Senator Panfilo Lacson, 94 million pesos. We spent more for a senator in her cell than the Senate President and an inarguably busy legislator. Unless Delima claims otherwise, I do not have any doubt that her spending habits as a senator had changed from the year before last. So 106 million pesos for her and her office in 2019 would total roughly 400 million pesos in 4 years. But Delima claims to be the leader of the opposition, throwing all kinds of mud at the president and claiming to so upright that the yellows are mulling the idea that she should perhaps be their presidential standard bearer in the 2022 elections. If indeed she will, the opposition will just be wasting their money and time. Why she describe herself in her Facebook page as human rights defender, prisoner of conscience? Well, this prisoner isn't in a particular dire situation. Delima is getting the annual salary of top executives, 3 million pesos, and considering that she has had free room and board, doesn't need a senator's wardrobe, and doesn't have a family to feed, she'll have 18 million pesos when she steps down from office. No wonder, in contrast to the dark visage of real prisoners of conscience. Like Aung San Suu Kyi in the 1990s, Delima is always photographed smiling and hardly seeming not to have lost a pound in her 4 years of imprisonment. She has spent about 70 million pesos a year for services she demands almost as a whim. As a citizen, I would demand information on the following. Being in jail. What are the extraordinary and miscellaneous expenses that amounted to 10.5 million pesos in 2019? So 40 million pesos from 2017 to 2020 she spent for. What has her staff, whom we taxpayers paid 47 million pesos in salaries in 2019, plus 3 million pesos for meetings and conferences, and 6 million pesos in travel, been doing? I don't think her core staff would have spent 6 million pesos last year commuting from the Senate to Camp Crame, where she is detained, unless they are using 5-star hotel limousines. In fact, Delima spent 3.2 million pesos last year to rent motor vehicles. This was the biggest for such expense among all 24 senators. Delima claims she spent 10.4 million pesos for consultancy fees, bigger than Soto's 6.6 million pesos and Lacson's 5.4 million pesos. I hope this wasn't for lawyers' fees to defend herself from the drug trafficking charges against her. That would be the use of taxpayers' money for her personal benefit, which, if not explicitly, implicitly, violates our anti-graft laws. Delima, however, issued a press statement a year ago claiming that she had filed 144 bills and 142 resolutions, implicitly claiming that her expenses as a senator was due to her and her staff's work. Any senator, however, would know that most bills aren't really worth the paper they're printed on and can be spewed out in a couple of days by staffers if they're not well researched and, more importantly, able to gather the support via co-authorship of other senators so it would even merit deliberation in the relevant committee. It will just go to Senate's dustbin. It calls its archives. I haven't heard a bill filed by Delima that generated any support, even from her yellow colleagues in the Senate. Delima is even filing bills that are thinly disguised as manifestos against Duterte, as in her bill filed in 2019 titled Defining Extrajudicial Killing, Providing for Its Penalty and Other Purposes. In this bill, she claims that according to the Commission on Human Rights, the number of those killed in Duterte anti-drug war could be 27,000. That's total BS, a deliberate fake news that unfortunately has gone around the world, as it were. I have written 7 columns debunking point by point how such a number had been fabricated. For instance, in Tata's fake data, 14,000 EJK. So it could be an even much worse a situation than Delima's staff and consultants twiddling their thumbs just waiting for the 5 p.m. alarm. They could be manufacturing anti-administration propaganda. Their salaries paid for by us taxpayers. Hanggat nga hindi nga nababago ang batas kahit pa nakakulong na ang opisyal ng gobyerno sa Senado, ay patuloy pa rin ang pagtamasa nito sa mga taxpayers at buo pa din ang pasahod, benepisyo at maging mga expenses nito. Tanong ngayon ng taong bayan, bakit hindi binabago ng mga gumagawa ng batas ang batas?